Well, hello! Glad to see that you are concerned with preventing foodborne illness. This video will teach you how to properly handle food safely during preparation. Handling food safely during preparation is critical to preventing foodborne illness. Procedures for how to do so should be part of your restaurant's food safety plan. Before you begin any food preparation, you should pay attention to the following practices. Clean and sanitize. One of the most important ways to prevent cross-contamination is by cleaning and sanitizing all work surfaces, equipment, and utensils before and after each task. What's the difference?
I don't know.
Cleaning removes food and other dirt particles from a surface. Sanitizing reduces the bacteria on a surface. The best way to clean and sanitize your utensils and cutting board is by running them through the dishwasher. If you don't have a dishwasher, you should sanitize your equipment by wiping it down with or soaking in a sanitizing solution, following manufacturer's instructions, and then thoroughly rinsing with hot water. Know what you're prepping. Before removing food from the cooler or walk-in, be clear as to the ingredients that need to be removed in order to limit extra ingredients sitting at unsafe temperatures. Thawing food properly is very important. When food is frozen, it reduces the opportunity for pathogens to grow. Most foodborne illnesses are caused by foods that have been time temperature abused. Food has been time temperature abused anytime it remains at 41 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 5 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. Bacteria grows when food is in this temperature danger zone. When you defrost food incorrectly, the food is exposed to the temperature danger zone, and pathogens begin to grow and possibly produce toxins. If the food is then refrozen, large numbers of pathogens and toxins can survive. When the food is thawed again, these pathogens and toxins could cause foodborne illness. To prevent this from happening, thaw potentially hazardous food using one of the following 4 methods. 1. In the refrigerator, the best way. 2. During cooking. 3. In the microwave oven followed by cooking. Or 4. Under cold running water. It is important to thaw food evenly. Any method that allows one part, such as the outside, to defrost before the inner portion is not acceptable because the portion that thaws first will be in the temperature danger zone before the other part is even thawed. Never defrost food out on the counter or sitting at room temperature. For the refrigerator thawing method, you will want to thaw the food at 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 degrees Celsius, or lower. Be sure the food item is placed on a pan to catch any juice or liquid that may drip. You definitely need to plan ahead as this method takes the longest amount of time. In the cooking method, you will thaw the food as part of the cooking process. For example, if you have frozen soup, you can heat in a pot on low-medium heat until the soup is fully thawed and cooked. When thawing in the microwave, you will defrost the meat according to manufacturer's instructions using the defrost setting on the microwave. Any food defrosted in the microwave must be cooked just after the defrosting process. For cold water thawing, place the packaged food in a pan and run cold, safe-to-drink water over it. Now that we have discussed proper methods of thawing food, we'll talk about some important ways to prepare foods. There are some foods that require special attention during preparation. Here are a few examples. Produce. There are many produce items that can cause a foodborne illness, so you must use extra precautions. For instance, the leafy green vegetable family accounts for almost 30% of all foodborne illnesses in food regulated by the FDA. When prepping produce, follow these procedures. With clean hands and before cutting or cooking, wash all produce thoroughly under running water. The water should be a bit warmer than the temperature of the produce. As mentioned, pay extra attention to leafy greens. Remove the outer leaves and pull the lettuce or spinach completely apart in order to rinse thoroughly. When soaking or storing produce in water, do not mix different items or multiple batches of the same item. To prevent cross-contamination, make sure that no produce touches surfaces exposed to raw meat, poultry, or seafood. Store and hold sliced melons and cut tomatoes at 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 degrees Celsius, or lower. If holding cut tomatoes at room temperature, they must be discarded after 4 hours. When preparing salads that contain potentially hazardous foods such as meat, fish, and poultry, make sure the proteins have been properly cooked, cooled, held, and stored before adding them to the salad. Discard cooked and cooled potentially hazardous foods after 7 days if they have been stored in a refrigerator. Chill all ingredients, including those that are not potentially hazardous, in the refrigerator until they are ready to be mixed. Clean, sanitize, and chill all containers and utensils before using them to make salad. Prepare food in small batches. When preparing any meat, fish, and poultry, it is crucial that you use clean and sanitized work areas, cutting boards, knives, and utensils. You must also wash hands properly before, during, and after handling. Remove from refrigerated or frozen storage only as much food as you can prepare within a short time. Refrigerate or freeze meats, fish, and poultry immediately after cutting, slicing, dicing, breading, or battering. When battering or breading food, you should prepare batter in small batches. If you are breading food that will be cooked at a later time, you must refrigerate or freeze as quickly as possible. Throw out any unused batter or breading after it has been at room temperature for 4 hours or longer. Use pasteurized shell eggs or egg products to make batter. When preparing eggs and egg mixtures, it's important to follow these food handling practices. Wash hands with soap and warm water. Refrigerate eggs at 45 degrees Fahrenheit or below. Do not freeze them. Use only pasteurized shell eggs or pasteurized egg products when preparing egg dishes that require little or no cooking. Avoid pooling eggs. Pooling eggs is when you crack 2 or more eggs into a container. Use clean, sanitized utensils and equipment. Take out eggs only for immediate use. Never stack egg flats near the grill or stove. When you are cooking any potentially hazardous food, you should make sure that they are cooked to the recommended internal temperature. The only way to determine if a food has been cooked to the proper internal temperature is to use a thermometer. Improper cooling and reheating are major causes of foodborne illness. You must take steps to cool potentially hazardous food rapidly after cooking to prevent the growth of pathogens. When food is cooled too slowly, pathogens can grow to large numbers. Foods particularly important to cool properly include soups, sauces, gravies, stews, rice, chili, whole turkeys, turkey breasts, and whole roast beef. Food temperatures should be measured with a STEM thermometer. Reheating the food to 165 degrees or hotter will not necessarily make improperly cooled food safe to eat. The following are safe methods that can be used to quickly and safely cool foods. Reduce the quantity or size of the food you are cooling. Cut large food into smaller pieces, or divide large containers into smaller containers or shallow pans. Use an ice water bath. Stir food to cool it faster and more evenly. Use a blast chiller to cool food before placing it into a refrigerator. After cooking is complete, add ice or cool water as an ingredient. Regardless of which method you use, remember the 6-hour rule. You need to cool food from 140 degrees to 70 degrees in the first 2 hours, and then from 70 degrees to 41 degrees in the next 4 hours. You should also cool potentially hazardous food made from ingredients that are stored at ambient room temperature, such as canned tuna or dried food, to 41 degrees within 4 hours of preparation. You may use time controls rather than just temperature controls for holding potentially hazardous foods. Potentially hazardous food shall be at an initial temperature of 41 degrees or below when removed from cold holding, or at or above 140 degrees when removed from hot holding temperature control. Ready-to-eat foods removed from cold holding may be kept for a maximum of 6 hours, provided that at 4 hours the food has not reached or exceeded an internal temperature of 70 degrees. After hot holding, potentially hazardous foods may be held at ambient temperatures for no more than 4 hours after removal from temperature control. All foods removed from temperature control shall be labeled with initial temperature at the time of removal, and the time when the food should be discarded if not served. If you can remember these important food preparation guidelines, you'll be in great shape to help prevent the occurrence of foodborne illness. You're now ready to take exam 4, proper food handling. Good luck.
Okay.